Hey everybody, welcome to some stuff that I'm recording for, I guess, the YouTube channel or for the archives. I don't have a name for it yet. Figured I'd call it something stupid like Carside Commentary, because I'm going to record them when I'm on my commute home, or Commuter Commentary, or Afternoon Drive with Bill, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But so these are just going to kind of be some stream of consciousness things while I drive home from work in Boston or Cambridge, Massachusetts, as we turn to get on to the wonderful Tobin Bridge here, just outside of Charlestown. So I guess with it being around the 9th of December when I'm recording this, I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies with my son Travis and my wife Melissa, and I haven't watched a lot of Christmas movies outside of a Christmas Vacation and Rudolph and kind of those standards. And this year we're kind of focusing on watching some things that we don't, are kind of outside of the norm. Like we watched the Scooby-Doo Christmas the other day, which was okay, I guess. But one of the ones that we watched the other night that I didn't even really, I forgot about its existence, and that's because they don't play anymore. But obviously everybody loves the Rankin and Bass stop motion animation stuff that they did. Obviously Rudolph being the high watermark, Year Without a Santa Claus, so on and so forth. But we watched something called The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold the other night, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this, but it is a bizarre affair, to say the least. Basically, the whole story is there's these leprechauns on an island that is broken away from Ireland. So there's this boat called, I don't know, it's called something real Irish. It's like the Erringo boat or something like that. I don't know. But so they're out there and they're like, oh, hey, there's this island that's been never discovered before off the coast of Ireland, despite the fact that it used to be a piece of Ireland. So let's send somebody over there to check it out or whatever. And I'm going to be honest, I had already stopped paying attention about 2 minutes into it. But they send this kid named, what the hell was his name? It was something, like it rhymed and it was like really Irish. And he goes over there and he washes up on the shore in his little boat, and then he starts digging up a tree, and all these little leprechauns pop up and are watching him, and he sees them and he's like, oh, it's the wee people. And he's digging up a random tree. I don't remember why he's digging up the tree, but the one of the leprechauns says something along the lines of, hey, he's digging up the banshee tree. And at that moment he pulls the tree out of the ground and it fills with water, and then this woman, haggard woman, looks an awful lot like the Heat Miser, pops up out of the ground and it starts like screaming and stuff, the banshee scream or whatever, and does this thing, does her thing, and then disappears, and they're like, oh no, she's loose. And then he's like, oh, what was all that about? And then the leprechauns run away, and the main leprechaun starts talking to him, and of course the main leprechaun's name is like Barney Killarney. Barney Killarney, as Irish as you can get, right? And also as stereotypical and insulting as you can get, I guess, also. And like, they're like, oh, and then there's a rainbow, and then they follow the rainbow, and it brings them to the leprechaun's gold. And he tells the story about how they were on their little area, and then when the banshee tried to take the gold, the area broke away and became an island, and they tricked the banshee into the thing, and the banshee can change forms and all this stuff. And you know what, it could be real, like folklore. I don't know enough about it, but the thing that as I'm watching this, I'm like, what does this have to do with Christmas? It's called The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. A couple times they use the word Christmas. They're like, the gold on Christmas morn. It's, first of all, it's Ireland, and it's the middle of winter, and it's warm apparently. Everything is green, and I get Ireland stays green year round, but it didn't look like Christmas. There was nothing about Christmas trees, or I don't even know. So we're watching it, and I'm like, this is just bizarre. It was bizarre more than anything out of the whole thing watching it. So the banshee changes form into a beautiful woman, but you're supposed to be able to tell because the banshee cries all the time, and the tears are what give it away. And is just weird. And I understand why, Rudolph and those ones are classics. I get that. This, I understand why wasn't isn't remembered like the others, because it really isn't related to Christmas. I felt more as though, because Rankin and Bass is best known for doing the Christmas specials, that's why they try to throw the Christmas thing on there, but it's bizarre. But to add to that, so then last night, Travis and I watched something on Netflix, and it was The Legend of Frosty the Snowman, and it was made in I think like late 90s or early 2000s. And again, another one where it's Frosty the Snowman. We all love the original Frosty. It was made in 69. It's classic. You watch it every year. They still show it on TV every year. It's not anything weird. But this one, again, really nothing to do with Christmas. They throw the song in there and there's nothing to do with Christmas. Really? Sorry. Has nothing to do with Christmas. But here's the most bizarre thing. The entire thing is narrated, and the main Frosty song is sung by fucking Burt Reynolds. And there's a animated Burt Reynolds in it. It's so weird. These things, so many of these things are just cash grabs. The Rudolph and Frosty Shiny New Year. There's the one that's was it Frosty's Christmas, or it's either Rudolph or Frosty wants to do Christmas in July. It's crazy. But whatever, hey, it is what it is. There's a lot of bizarre Christmas stuff out there. The pre-shows during December, I'm showing a bunch of the weird stuff. One of my personal favorites is the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, because, in their world, apparently Catholicism factors into it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. There was that one. There's a really weird made-for-TV NBC special called a Christmas Miracle, a Christmas something, and it stars Mr. T. Mr. T is in it, and he plays a mall Santa Claus. And basically, the story of this is Webster, Emmanuel Lewis, is kind of lost his Christmas spirit, and he just kind of roams about town and is befriended by Mr. T, which is bizarre in its own right, because, Emmanuel Lewis, kid walking the streets, dime store Santa that has got a mohawk and looks like Mr. T, just befriends the kid and nobody seems to think it's weird. And he takes him to all these places to try to renew his Christmas spirit. And, meets Dinah Shore, and there's a part where he brings him to meet David Copperfield. And David Copperfield is basically hey, you got a cigarette? And he goes, Emmanuel Lewis is no, I don't smoke. He's I'm 5. And he's that's okay. He's I'll get one. So he borrows one from somebody else. He's it's a terrible habit. So then he does the thing where he puts the cigarette through the quarter or whatever, and it's just bizarre. But there's so many weird Christmas things. But I just kind of wanted to go through some of that, add a little something extra, and wish everyone a happy holiday season, whether you worship Jesus, Santa Claus, or the Krampus. Hope all of it is bringing you good tidings this year. Don't forget to check out our website, OutsideTheCinema.com. Shoot over to our Facebook, TV.OutsideTheCinema.com is where our live broadcasts are, and our Facebook page is Facebook.OutsideTheCinema.com. If you want to send us some feedback on anything we do, video shows, commentary shows, regular episodes, or just want to make some suggestions, you can go over and email us at feedback@OutsideTheCinema.com. And also we have a monthly Patreon for the listeners that have access to very many things that the public does not have access to for a $5 a month donation. Just go to support.OutsideTheCinema.com. And fucking Boston drivers. They're so aggressive, but really, happy holidays, everybody.